At Crown Point Realty, we believe in creating a real estate experience for our clients that is second to none. Educating and preparing our clients for what to expect is the best way to ensure we get you started in the right direction. As committed realtors, we are always on the go and always well caffeinated. We decided why not answer your real estate questions over a cup of coffee at some of our favorite spots. This is Coffee with Crown Point. Hey everybody, welcome back to Coffee with Crown Point this week. Of course, I'm Matt. We got Mike back with us today.
Hey, nice to see you guys again.
Thanks for being here, Mike.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So right now, a hot topic in town is new homes versus resale.
That's right.
We have short inventory. We've talked about that quite a bit in the last few weeks. So there's only so many resale homes out there. So of course, new homes become that much more attractive. And there's always this appeal and grandeur of being a new construction home. So, what's better? What's price difference? Why would I go new? Why would I go resale? So, Mike, what are some different factors that a buyer is considering when they're trying to decide which way to go?
Well, and just start right off the bat, timing. So, hey, I'm looking at a new home build. You get your spec builds that, maybe they have gone a little bit far ahead and they fell out. Maybe it's a 30, 60-day close, but, from dirt, maybe 4 or 5 months, some as long as maybe 9 months. So it just depends on where you're looking. So that's definitely a factor. Price, of course, is a factor. Designs and upgrades. So really, we'll get into this later, but the new, hip designs that these builders research and design for, people to walk in and love it, and it's HGTV ready and looks great when you look in the models, of course.
Just like they see on TV, right?
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Of course, lot size, and we'll get into that.
Although the home you build doesn't necessarily look like the model. So
that's right.
It's not necessarily HGTV.
That's right. You get in, it's missing some furniture and things like that. So
wow, that had diamond-plated counters when I was. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no. Lot size, of course, and then the community. So hey, do I like living out here or living out here? And of course, that's a big decision maker for buyers.
Right. Well, in some communities, if you like, I like an established community with big mature trees and established parks, this types of stuff, that might be, new homes might not even exist in that type of community, like older Green Valley, for example, just top of my head there. So that could be a factor for you too. Maybe lot size. There's not a whole lot of big lots being built these days. You can find them, but they're few and far between, so that's a factor as well. So talking about price, that's, I'm sure top of mind anybody watching this is what's the price difference between a new home and resale. So I pulled some stats for you and share those with you. Right now, an average new home price in Clark County, if you average all of 2017, it was $411,000. But I actually looked at just this last month. If the new homes that closed last month, because of course some communities might sell out, so those are off the table. But what's available right now, the average new home closing is actually $500,000. So it is quite a bit more expensive in the county on average than going resale. Now there's a lot of Summerlin construction, there's a lot of Henderson construction right now, so that's obviously pushing that price up. And then the median price right now for resale home is $265, and the average price for resale is $308. We usually go off of median when we're looking at that because average can be greatly influenced by one really big home sale or something like that month. So that's obviously a huge gap, $268 to $500. So that's a bit misleading. The better thing to look at, in my opinion is what does a resale home in the same neighborhood that they're building new homes, what's that compared to? And here's what we typically see. 10 to 15% is normal for that new home premium. And what I have found to be pretty consistent is, and that gap has closed a little bit. It's not quite as big right now because I think resales are so hot with limited inventory that those prices are just up. But typically you're going to find the base price of a new construction home, all things equal, similar size and everything, about the same as the finished resale home. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. You see the home it's used, it's a little bit lived in, but you got the upgrades in already, the landscape's in, the window coverings are in, versus a bare bones nothing in a new home, but it's brand spanking new, which is awesome. So if you think, it's kind of a fair trade-off. Some buyers are going to like this, and some buyers are going to like that, and it kind of makes sense if you think about it that way. So Mike, talking about the price, and one thing too, just another side note that we do recommend is a lot of buyers will say, hey, let's go look at the new home options first that fit your criteria and your budget, because once you know where they are, they're not going anywhere unless they sell out. So now we have something to compare to. We'll go look at the resales, and now you have kind of a barometer to look at that, and you're going to probably really lean one way or the other after you do that. So sorry, I got rambling there, but so Mike, what justifies that price difference?
Well, all of these new home builds, a lot more energy efficient. So you're looking
Right.
down the line, hey, what is my bill going to be? What's my gas bill going to be? Well, I got brand new windows and they seal the home off and everything, so less air's leaving, so your power bill's probably going to be, pretty, significantly less. So
Right.
you're looking at that. Floor plan. So I get to design my floor plan. So I want this open floor plan, and maybe some of these resales a little older, they don't have that floor plan.
Right.
So you fall in love with the floor plan and design and technology. So you get in there and you're like, hey, I get to pick my own paint colors, different styles. Hey, do I want a loft here? Do I want a bedroom instead of loft? Do I want a den? Do I want dedicated office space for me? And then
with the USB outlet that you can get in the kitchen now. And
that's
all these,
right. Yeah.
I saw a sign yesterday. I was driving through Cadence, and it was a Wi-Fi enabled home. I think Lennar was building it. I don't know exactly what that means specifically, other than I guess I don't know. Maybe your router's built into the home. I don't know. But there's always new tech coming out, which is cool. It's just what's the cost difference? And what I have found to be true is a lot of it can absolutely be justified in some of those things that we just talked about, but to some extent, you are paying a premium because it's new.
Yeah.
You're the first owner. It's your colors, your choices, that fun experience. So there's going to be a premium for that too, which it does make sense if you think about it. One other factor too is, community. Some of these new master plans are being designed differently. Like Inspirata, Cade's very community, minded.
Yeah.
Same thing with a lot out in Summerlin right now. So that's a factor to consider as well. Let's see, moving on here. So some other things just to think about to leave you with. By the way, design. Sorry, I get really going here. Sorry for the long video. Emily, our marketing manager, is probably laughing behind the camera right now because I get going. But like now in the new builds, you can actually do two-tone cabinets. You can
That's
do
right.
cabinets on the island, one color, cabinets on the main kitchen, the rest. Maybe do like a quartz countertop on the island and a granite on the back to kind of accent it. And the flooring ties it all together and the backsplash. Some really cool stuff you can do now. And here's the biggest difference probably with that versus resale is you can finance those things.
That's right.
Because if it's resale,
you can't.
it's cash.
It's cash. Yeah.
If you find a
It's out
home
of
in
pocket.
an established neighborhood, it might need, no joke, it might need $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of updates to look like the home that you can now just build into your mortgage. So that's a factor, of course.
And that's your 10% there. Really. So 15%,
Well, there's a difference between cash out of pocket for a lot of buyers versus what you can finance.
That's right.
But there's things you can't change. You can't change the school zone. You can't change the lot location, community. So those are definitely factors to consider. And here's something not to take lightly is, do you want to live in a construction zone? Like, don't take that for granted. I've been married for almost 14 years. I have to think about that for a minute. Right? Yes, 14 years. Sorry, honey. Man, we have personally purchased 3 new construction homes, and my wife told me the other night, she's like, Matt, I'm just tired of living in a construction zone. So, you got to deal with nails in your tires. You got to deal with the boulders crashing at 6 a.m. So there's a factor there. Think about those things. Finance versus cash. And then builder incentives versus cash out of pocket to close. That's a factor right now too. Getting closing costs right now is really tough on resale.
Really, really tough. Yeah.
So builders right now are paying your closing costs for you at some communities, not all. They're all different. But that's a factor because right now, if you're under $400,000 on a resale, it's pretty challenging to get the seller to pay your closing costs to be competitive. So there's a factor there to be considered. So many things that can be taken into consideration.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
So I guess the final takeaway is this is exactly why you need a great agent to help you decipher all this information and really unpack it to figure out what makes the most sense for your family, your needs, your budget, your timing, all those factors, and get a good agent to work hard for you to help you navigate those waters.
That's right. And really, you look and you go, hey, I'm going to go into a new home build. I'm going to negotiate with them. They represent the builder. They don't represent you. So just make sure you have a realtor go into the new home build with you and walk that, so we're able to represent you and help you out through that process.
Absolutely. And do not be misled. You can absolutely negotiate with a builder. Don't let them tell you differently. So make sure you have an agent helping you through that process. So thank you guys for joining us this week. We'll see you again next week.
That's right.
Coffee or Crown Point.
Do you have a question that you'd like to have answered? Feel free to submit a comment below, send us a message, or give us a call, and we will feature it in an upcoming episode.